Welcome to St Helens Stadium for live coverage of this Adobe Women's FA Cup 5th round Merseyside derby as Liverpool take on Everton. A rivalry built on pride and passion, and with the magic of the cup, that edge only sharpens.
Very strong to strike, that's a magnificent goal. Sophie Roman Howe, Liverpool lead.
Scott, oh they've done it! Oh what a finish from Natasha Dowie! Everton have won it.
Well, this is always going to be such an intriguing encounter, and these Liverpool players can put aside their relegation battle for 1 week at least and try and overcome their Merseyside rivals and head towards the latter stages of the Women's FA Cup once again. They got to the semi-finals last season and they almost surprised Chelsea with a goal from Olivia Smith, but they were eventually beaten by 2-1. And this is a team which has reached 3 finals back in the 1990s when the women's game was in a very different place. And this is a side almost rebuilt mid-season. Denise O'Sullivan, the Irish international, one of a number of players signed during the transfer window, and no doubt she has the experience for this sort of occasion, winning 3 Scottish Cups during her time at Glasgow City. Also scored in the previous round the 6-0 win against London Bees. Her experience could be invaluable today, alongside Martha Thomas, on loan from Tottenham, scored the goal which sent Spurs to their FA Cup final a couple of seasons ago. She was the runner-up eventually that year, and also with Manchester United, and she'll be hoping to maybe go one better with Liverpool here. And Cornelia Capox did score in the Merseyside derby on the opening weekend of the WSL season. A rare bright spot for Liverpool on what was a fairly grim evening, but her form recently has been really good as they look to climb away from the foot of the table. And Liverpool currently 11th in the Women's Super League, but they are in decent form at the moment relative to their start to the season. They have been runners-up in the FA Cup back in the mid-1990s. Got to that Chelsea semi-final last season, and with 3 wins in their last 5 games, they are currently in good form. And what of Everton under new management at the moment? The interim coach, Scott Phelan, has done a very good job so far. 3 successive victories in the Women's Super League to really douse any relegation fears which were building at Goodison Park. Of course, they've had the notable success at Chelsea this season, but there weren't enough good results around it to allow Brian Cernza to stay in his job. But at the moment, with their interim coach, Everton heading in the right direction. And Ornelia Vignola had the honour of scoring a hat-trick at Anfield on the opening night of the Women's Super League season. And there is plenty of experience in this Everton team as well. Honoka Hayashi scored the winning goal last week against her former club, West Ham United, her 4th of the season. One of a number of Japanese internationals across both teams today. Her energy from midfield will be absolutely key for Scott Phelan's team. And alongside her, Nicole Mamiki, another player who brings so much experience to this team. 2 goals in the previous round as well, and 4 Japanese Cups previously in her career. Well, Everton have climbed up to 8th in the table, away from the relegation battle, with 3 successive wins. And they won the FA Cup memorably back in 2010 with a victory against Arsenal by 3-2. Natasha Dowie scoring twice at the City Ground to end London's domination of the competition at the time. They were knocked out in the 5th round last season, and 4 wins in their last 5 games, including 3 in a row in the Women's Super League. And there'll be plenty of tension in the tunnel before this game. It's always the case before any sort of Merseyside derby, and with a place in the quarter-finals of the Women's FA Cup at stake here, it will be no different here today at St Helens Stadium. Gareth Taylor, a former winner of this competition when he beat Everton in the final with Manchester City 6 years ago. And "You'll Never Walk Alone" booms around this stadium, and the Liverpool supporters respond. It has been a difficult season in transition under a new coach, but they have finally pulled themselves away from the foot of the table. They still have work to do in the league, but today is all about the Women's FA Cup. 2 clubs with plenty of history in this competition, but only one of them will be making their way to the quarter-final draw tomorrow. And it's a blustery day here in St Helens, and that will have an impact on the playing conditions as well. And this, the first of 2 Merseyside derbies coming up in relatively quick time. Goodison Park will be the venue for Everton's home game in the Women's Super League. But here today, Liverpool will look to make the most of home advantage. And Liverpool are without Alice Bergstrom, who suffered a knee injury at Chelsea, so Mia Enderby comes in as the only change. She'll replace her on the right. Gareth Taylor was busy during the transfer window, and that's evidenced by the appearances of Jennifer Falk, Denise O'Sullivan and Martha Thomas. Thomas will lead the attack, hoping to reach an FA Cup final with her 3rd different club. Cornelia Capox scored Liverpool's goal in the Merseyside derby at Anfield. Scott Phelan has seen no reason to change a winning team and picks the same 11 which beat West Ham United. Nigerian international Tony Payne is the only addition to the bench. She replaces the youngster Lila Harbert. Hannah Blundell offers the experience of 3 winners' medals, 1 with Chelsea and Manchester United. Honoka Hayashi scored the winner last week, and Cornella Vigola was the hat-trick heroine on that famous night for the blue half of Liverpool on the Women's Super League opening night. And plenty of feeling in both of those pre-match huddles before a Merseyside derby. Courtney Brosnan, who recently signed a new contract, the Everton goalkeeper, seemed to be the most vocal, as Everton's players look to be as impressive here as they were at Anfield back in September, when they demolished Liverpool to really set the tone for the start of the season for both clubs. This, the second meeting in the Women's FA Cup, Liverpool winning at this stage in the 5th round back in 2017. Adewunyi Sonai is our referee here today. Denise O'Sullivan, one of the international stars on show in this 5th round tie. And as we know, she has the eye for the spectacular. And Inmar Gabado, a player who will bring plenty of flair to the Everton forward line as well. It's been a very different setting for Gareth Taylor, and maybe different objectives here at Liverpool compared to what he's experienced at Manchester City. And Scott Phelan enjoying life at the moment as the interim coach at Everton. 3 games and 3 wins in the Women's Super League. Adewudni Sonai is our referee for this game. A place in the quarter-finals of the Women's FA Cup is at stake. Liverpool in the red, Everton in the blue. And it's Liverpool attacking the goal away to our left in the first half. Ruby Mace, still only 22 years of age, but it feels like she's been around the Women's Super League for a lot longer. O'Sullivan, and there was a Derby Day challenge there from Claire Wheeler on the halfway line, and Liverpool have the free kick. Fisk, and it's all the way back to Jennifer Falk, one of the newcomers for Liverpool during the transfer window, signed from the Swedish champions Häcken on loan. O'Sullivan, the challenge from Wheeler, it's guided back towards Courtney Brosnan, Irish international, but born in New Jersey and came through the US college system, like a number of players on the field today. Kitagawa with the hurried clearance there. Fisk, the Liverpool captain. Banabe. Liverpool need to get players like Nagano and O'Sullivan on the ball as much as possible. The big names are certainly massing in the quarter-final draw. Chelsea beating Manchester United earlier. Manchester City, Arsenal also going through. Jennifer Falk has certainly brought some calmness to the way Liverpool have defended in recent weeks. They performed well at Chelsea last week, although they lost by 2-0. They've had very little joy against Everton in the Women's Super League in recent years. Only 1 win in the last 10 meetings, losing 7 of those. And the previous victory, a 3-1 win back in May of 2019, as it's given away there by Fisk. Wheeler, supported by Hayashi. Mace, though, not quite winning it, and then it's played over the top, seeking out Gabbardo, who may have been offside. Liverpool share this stadium with St Helens Rugby League Club, and you'll notice the rugby markings on the pitch with the Super League season now underway. Fisk. In towards Thomas, but she's unable to gather. When these two clubs previously met in the Women's FA Cup, Everton were in the second tier, but they took Liverpool to extra time before the Reds won by 2-1. Banabe with the throw-in. Nagano, O'Sullivan. To squeeze it wide to Holland. And Liverpool will have the throw-in. Banabe will take this. Holland just behind Capox, but Shimazu Everton will clear. And then Clark with a strong challenge. And it will keep Everton penned in these early moments. Gareth Taylor has reached 2 Women's FA Cup finals during his time with Manchester City, beating Everton and losing to Chelsea. Mandel with the clearance. Now she's got more defending to do under pressure from O'Sullivan, and she was maybe slightly fortunate there. Now Fisk. Clark is forced back. Liverpool have never won the Women's FA Cup. They reached 3 successive finals in the mid-1990s when they were known as Knowsley United. They were beaten by Doncaster Bells. Karen Walker, who was one of the mainstays of the England team at the time, scored the only goal as Brosnan clears there. Karen Burke, another England international, had them twice ahead against Arsenal the following year, but they eventually lost 3-2. Marianne Spacey scoring the winning goal at Prenton Park, and then Rachel Brown Finnis, or Rachel Brown as she was then, 15 years of age, was their goalkeeper back in 1996. And they drew with Croydon, the club who are still in the FA Cup, now Charlton Athletic. And they eventually lost on penalties. They've also got to 5 semi-finals, of course losing to Chelsea last season when Olivia Smith put them ahead before they eventually lost to a very late goal from Aggie Beaver-Jones, former Everton loanee. Gabado. And it will go behind. Neymar Gabado, who was missed so much of last season due to injury and has come back from a loan spell with Sevilla to build up her fitness. Falk has the option of playing out. Challenge on Nagano, but she's confident enough to deal with it. Fernandez with the header forward, and Nella, the player who is penalised. It was certainly a high challenge on Shimazu, catching her on the shoulder. And there'll be a word from the referee for the player who scored the hat-trick, Ornella Vignola, in the game at Anfield. No card shown. And Everton are former winners of this competition. Memorably back in 2010 when they beat Arsenal 3-2. Natasha Dowie scored twice when Everton were one of the preeminent teams in the Women's Super League. They had Farrah Williams, Jill Scott and Tony Duggan in their team. But the formative club, Liso Pacific, also won the FA Cup back in 1989 when they beat the Friends of Fulham, who are now AFC Wimbledon, 3-2 at Old Trafford. Hope Powell, the former England coach, scored twice against Everton, but was on the losing side as Liverpool give away a rather cheap corner there. And Everton clearly have something planned. 5 players gathering around the penalty spot. Now they split, looking to cause some chaos. Fernandez heads it back in field, but Liverpool are able to clear. Lundell. High from Mamiki, and it's taken down well inside the area, but the cross deflected behind by Clark. It will be another corner. And Everton beginning to apply some pressure here. And Ruby Mace has come forward to take this. And again, Everton have those 5 players who scatter around the penalty area, but the corner is too deep for any of them. Scott Phelan stepped up from coaching Everton's under-18 team. He's been assisted by Phil Jevons, the former Everton player. Although Everton famously won at Chelsea earlier this season, that was their only win apart from the Merseyside derby in their opening 13 games, and Ryan Sorensen left earlier this month. Now Gabaro, and play's been brought back for the challenge on Nagano. Who just caught her, although she may have been on the way down anyway. Capox. That's a free kick. Enderby, the player who was caught. Kitagawa, the player who was always caught on the wrong side. Mia Enderby did score in the previous round. Liverpool winning 6-0 at London Bees. Everton also made short work of lower division opponents, winning 5-0 at West Bromwich Albion. Holland will take the free kick. It's a dangerous delivery. Clark is around the back. Brosnan has lost it, and eventually she claims. Liverpool claiming a back pass, but it would have been a harsh decision. And now a long ball forward for Vignola, and that's good defending from Falk, the sweeper keeper. Free kick from Holland, and Clark was onside as she attacked it. It was helped on initially by Thomas, and then Clark evading Brosnan, but it was Mace who came in behind to just cushion it in the general direction of the goalkeeper. Liverpool with over 70% of the possession so far, but neither side has really had an effort on goal. Now it's been given away, and here is Mamiki. She cuts inside beyond Fisk, but she does well to recover. And Mamiki goes down. The Everton fans were looking for the free kick, but Sanai is unmoved. Mamiki will go all the way back to Brosnan. Everton Everton with 3 wins against Aston Villa, London City Lionesses and West Ham. Mace with the back pass. Brosnan will have to deal with this. Liverpool with only 4 points in their first 12 games, none of which were won, but they have since beaten Tottenham and Aston Villa. And Leicester are now bottom of the Women's Super League, and they play them here next. Good turn by Bernabé, but closed down by Mamiki. Bernabé, former Chelsea player. They had to work very hard earlier today to overcome Manchester United in extra time. Clark. I think Gareth Taylor always viewed this season as something transitional for Liverpool. Of course, they sold Olivia Smith, but they've since spent a decent sum of money in the transfer window themselves to try and guarantee they'll be in the Women's Super League next season. And if they beat Leicester next week, go a long way to doing that, as again Everton just taking a chance as Mason Brosnan played out. Kitagawa. Ignore that. Strong challenge on Wheeler, and Liverpool can now bring it forward. O'Sullivan. Holland. That's good running by Bernabé, but it was well seen. Liverpool's possession continues to be in excess of 70%, which is not uncommon under Gareth Taylor. His Manchester City teams were always heavily possession-based. Holland. Looking to go beyond Mace, and she's done so, but the cross is swirled too deep, but it will be recovered by Shimazu. Capox. Nagano. And a loose touch from Enderby. Kitagawa's got time, also support from Wheeler. As Everton look to play through the press. Wheeler. Mace. It's an interesting ball. Blundell won't get there though, because Fisk will guide it back to Falk. Jenna Clark, and she almost played Liverpool into trouble, but now they can bring it clear. Nagano. The free kick's been given for the challenge on Thomas on halfway. Enderby did have possession. Thomas was certainly caught by the retreating Martina Fernandez. Down is the message from the referee, who is trying to allow the game to flow in the early stages. Fisk. Good turn from Holland. And Hayashi, and it's all the way back to Brosnan. Mace. Again, calmness under pressure from her. Hayashi. This gets it back from Blundell. Fisk. Everton give the ball away. Here is Enderby. Thomas ahead of her, but Enderby goes for it. And it's not too far wide. Well, in a struggling team, Mia Enderby does have 5 goals already this season. It was given away by Gabardo. A loose ball across the midfield, seized upon by Enderby. I think Brosnan had it covered. Mace. Now Blundell. And Everton have the throw-in. They've not gone beyond the quarter-final stage since they lost in the final against Manchester City behind closed doors back in 2020 when Valerie Govan scored their goal against Manchester City. In addition to the cup wins, they've also been runners-up to Doncaster Bells in 1988. Kelly Smith was the match winner for Arsenal in 2014, just before they were relegated into the second tier. Mace. These clubs had their time as one of the very best in the Women's Super League. Of course, Liverpool winning back-to-back titles under the late Matt Beard. And they've also experienced the pain of relegation, and neither of them came back straight away. It took some time to rebuild in the second tier. Interesting ball and good running as well by Mamiki, and it's Volk who chooses to parry the ball away rather than catch it under pressure. Blundell. It's all the way back to Courtney Brosnan. Fisk under pressure from Gabardo, and with the help of the corner flag, Everton have a corner. The ball forward to Mamiki. It would have been a tight call for offside, but Volk was brave with the goalkeeping. Although she opted to punch, it was a decisive punch. Now Yuka Mamiki will take the corner kick. It's an in-swinger. Doesn't reach the near post, but it will be deflected behind. It was Gabardo who was looking to pressurise, and Everton have another corner. And it's the Blues' fourth of the game so far. Mamiki's delivery, deeper this time, but defended well at the near post by Grace Fisk. Lundell. Here's Wheeler. No offside flag, but the cross didn't really have enough pace on it. But now Mamiki. Banabe doing well, but Mamiki came back, and now she can break into the penalty area, but the shot dragged wide of the near post. Tenacious play there from Yuka Mamiki. She maybe did have the option of Gabado inside the area. Have a winner here today. We've already had extra time in the Women's FA Cup this afternoon. Hayashi, Mamiki, she was under pressure there. She went down inside the area, but no appeals from the players. Fisk. Garno, O'Sullivan. Fisk has got time to bring it forward. O'Sullivan directing the traffic, and now she will try and take on Wheeler, but it's a good challenge on her. Banabe will have the throw-in. Fisk. Banabe. Good turn from O'Sullivan away from Wheeler. Thomas makes the run into the area. Here is Holland. Free to aim at now, but it's behind O'Sullivan. It's covered by Fisk. Lundell will take the throw-in. On loan from Manchester United, and of course she won the FA Cup with them and lifted the trophy twice with Chelsea. Enderby holding off the challenge of Van Gool. Nagano. Now O'Sullivan. Support of Denise O'Sullivan. Signed from North Carolina Courage in the North American League. She has been around both the international and major club stage for some time. Could prove to be a very good signing for Liverpool as Gareth Taylor looks to develop younger players around her. Banabe. Now Fisk. Liverpool do have two very young players on the bench today. Maisie Truman, who became their youngest ever player, and she made her debut in the previous round against London Bees. Only a couple of months after her 16th birthday. 17-year-old Neve MacDonald is also available as well. She made her debut against Everton as a 16-year-old in the WSL Cup last season. Stretch there for Kitagawa. She kept the ball in play. On the bench for Everton today is Mel Lawley, former Liverpool player, and she also scored the winner against Liverpool for Manchester City in the semi-finals back in 2017. Liverpool have had plenty of disappointment at that stage in the Women's FA Cup. And some pretty famous names have been the match winners against them. Vignola, now Van Gool. Vignola again, and Fisk is able to clear. Kitagawa. Going all the way back to 2006, Sue Smith scored twice for Leeds against Liverpool in the semi-finals. Jess Fishlock was also on the score sheet for Bristol Academy 4 years later. Kim Little got the winner for Arsenal back in 2013 after Natasha Dowie had scored for Liverpool, and that was the season when they first won the Women's Super League. O'Sullivan. Nagano. Now Clark. She's looking for options. Fisk going back to Falk again, and that's a dangerous ball out, but O'Sullivan is able to deal with it. Mamiki, and she's fouled, and it will be a free kick. Both teams are choosing to try and play out in difficult circumstances, and that free kick there was given because Liverpool tried to work it through the thirds, and the ball was very quickly given away. Mamiki over the free kick, having won it. Although even on the ground she managed to squeeze the ball forward. It's deep from Mamiki. He was looking for Fernandez, but Holland with a good header away. Everton supporters have seen their side have one or two decent opportunities so far. They've also had the only shot on target in a game of very few opportunities. Mace on the stretch, and she's given the ball away to Thomas. Holland. She comes inside. That's an interesting ball in, and a brave header to open the scoring. And Liverpool take the lead with a devastating counter-attack, but there's concern about the goal scorer. And the celebrations are quickly followed by looks of concern. It all came from the long goal kick from Jennifer Falk, and the mistake there by Mace. It was Thomas who gathered the ball, and then Holland chopping back, And it was Mia Enderby who came in. And she got there first beyond Courtney Brosnan. And there was a shuddering collision after Enderby just got her head to the ball. And although she's opened the scoring for Liverpool, she's not had the opportunity to settle it. And you can see the look of pain as she clutched her knee. And the Liverpool medical staff will now do their work. And the goal scored due to an Everton error. Ruby Mace giving up possession. And both Thomas and Holland did well to work the opening. And Courtney Brosnan colliding with Mia Enderby. It was a ball she had to go for. And neither player was pulling out, but the looks of concern on the Liverpool bench really tell the story at the moment. Their side are ahead, but the health of their teammate is more important. And they are very carefully examining that right knee, which took the brunt of the challenge as Brosnan came out to try and gather. It was just a touch on the head there from Enderby, but she very quickly clutched that knee. And there will be a change straight away. Beata Olsson, the Swedish international, is preparing to come on. She's coming back from an injury. Had a very good start to the season, has 8 goals already scored. A fine equaliser here in the draw with Chelsea. But this is a sad sight for Liverpool. Their goal scorer is about to be stretchered off. A young player who always gives 100%, and it was that bravery which has led to the opening goal and also contributed to her injury here. And sympathetic applause all around the stadium from both Liverpool and Everton fans. And we've had a delay of approaching 5 minutes here. And Beata Olsson will come on to replace her. Ruby Mace comes over to check on Enderby along with Courtney Brosnan, although there was no blame attached to the Everton goalkeeper. It was a ball that both had to go for. And Beata Olsson will come on to replace her. Liverpool decided to make that change very quickly. Enderby's final involvement, obviously a significant one, but a very painful one for her as well. But Olsson has the ability to play in the wide areas. Confirmation of that change. Olsen has only played 5 minutes this year in the defeat against Manchester United on the 1st of February after picking up an injury before the resumption of the Women's Super League. But she scored against Chelsea and Arsenal so far this season. She will add plenty of pace and an eye for goal down the right-hand side for Liverpool here. Back to Brosnan. We have just over 4 minutes of normal time to play, but I would imagine at least 5 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Nagano looking for Olsen. Kitagawa. Shimazu deals with that. Liverpool can break again with Banabe. Holland. Mace will come across and concede the corner. Liverpool's first of the game. And Everton can't really afford to concede here, so close to half-time. The referee just sorting out one or two things inside the penalty area. Holland, it's very deep and it's kept alive inside the 6-yard area. Appeals for handball, but a corner kick has been given. Martha Thomas wasn't too far away from that. And Everton under pressure again. And at the moment, Liverpool are in the ascendancy. A goal up and looking for the second here. Olsen at the near post. Clark, their tallest player, is trying to cause some problems in front of the goalkeeper. It's deep towards her and it's a good header away by Kitagawa. Shimazu. Nagano. She was fouled by Hayashi. And it will be a free kick. One Japanese international fouls another. Holland will take the free kick. It was her cross which led to the goal. Martha Thomas will be one of the targets. Headed Spurs into the FA Cup final 2 seasons ago. Liverpool really looking to apply the pressure here. And it's not being cleared, and it's a second. And it's Beata Olsen. And Liverpool have taken a firm grip on this Women's FA Cup tie. Everton not happy about the way that ball went in, but Beata Olsen, who came on to replace the first goal scorer, Mia Enderby, has now got the second. And Liverpool, with 2 goals close to half-time, Holland with another delivery here. And it wasn't clear. There were appeals for handball there against Olsen inside the area. It may have been headed onto her arm by Fernandez. But Olsen was quickest to react, and she jabbed the ball in despite the attentions of Courtney Brosnan. Everton were convinced it struck her on the hand. I think they may have had a case, but it wasn't seen by the officials, and Liverpool lead by 2 goals to 0. And after being hammered by Everton on the opening night of the Women's Super League, they've taken firm control of this FA Cup 5th round tie and now have a clear sight of a route to the quarter-finals as we tick into 5 minutes of added time. Well, Adiwunni Sonai, the referee, will have had a very difficult job in spotting the handball. There were so many bodies in there, and if he can't see it, he can't give it. But now, an opportunity for Everton at the other end. It was Hayashi closing down, and she's still forward as Everton look to respond. And the low cross into the penalty area is smuggled behind Vignola's delivery, and Shimazu has conceded a corner kick. And Everton have been absolutely stunned. 2 excellent crosses from Kerry Holland, and they've resulted in both of the goals. Mace with her delivery, Fernandez challenging. Hayashi, roof of the netting. And Everton have had such preeminence over Liverpool in the Women's Super League recently, although Liverpool did win 4-0 here in the WSL Cup last season. Mia Enderby, who got the first goal, got 2 on that night. This would be another sign of progress under Gareth Taylor if they can make their way into the quarter-finals, as Everton have a free kick. Still 2 minutes of added time to play due to the injury to Mia Enderby. Brosnan will clear. And although that ball did seem to strike Beata Olsen on the hand, the defending from Everton was not convincing at all, as they didn't deal with the initial ball into the penalty area. And that allowed Olsen to apply the pressure and eventually score the goal. Everton have the throw in, but they're deep in their own half and they just need half-time here and the opportunity to regroup. And Scott Phelan may be looking at the options he's got on the bench. Kelly Gargo possibly, or Tony Payne. But Gareth Taylor has seen his team make the most of their opportunities here. Two efforts on target, 2 goals. Adobe with the throw-in, which is cleared. Fisk. Bernabe. And then Wheeler, but Liverpool have been very effective in this sort of area. Mace. Mamiki. Blundell all the way back to Brosnan. O'Sullivan. Maybe there's one final chance here in the first half for Everton, but it's won back by Nagano. But here is Hayashi, and that is half-time. And the Liverpool fans rise to acclaim their team. Gareth Taylor straight down the tunnel. Beata Olsen replacing the goal scorer of the first goal, Mia Enderby, who was injured in the act of scoring to make it 1-0. And it was Olsen who poked home from close range to add the second on the stroke of half-time. Liverpool 2, Everton 0. And here are the first half highlights from the Adobe Women's FA Cup 5th round. The Merseyside derby between Liverpool and Everton. And Jenna Clark here looking to bypass Courtney Brosnan. And it was Ruby Mace who guided the ball into the arms of her goalkeeper, but a back pass wasn't given. I'm not sure there was 100% intent there. But it was a rather attritional start to the game. It was given away here cheaply by Irma Gabardo, and then Mia Enderby firing in the shot, but she maybe didn't make the contact she was looking for, and it just snaked wide of that post. And Everton's best opportunity. Claire Wheeler break into the penalty area, and it was cleared as far as Yuka Momiki. She did well here to win it back from Bernabe, and then she maybe had better options. Gabaro was in the centre, but she too dragged her shot wide. And then 11 minutes before half-time, Ruby Mace with the mistake. Martha Thomas seizing the ball for Liverpool, and Kerry Holland chopping back and flighting in. An inviting ball. Mia Enderby was brave. She got there before Courtney Brosnan, and there was a shuddering collision. And although Enderby scored the opening goal, she did not get the opportunity to celebrate it, as she was stretchered off straight away in some pain. It was a ball that both the goalkeeper and striker had to go for. Enderby getting there first with the head. And then another Holland free kick, causing confusion inside the area. And the player who came on to replace Enderby, Beata Olsen, jabbed home the second. Everton were appealing for handball, and it did seem to strike the arm of Olsen as it rebounded from the clearance from Fernandez. But there was no decision apart from 2-0. So Liverpool leading by 2-0. 2 attempts on target, and they've both gone in. Everton with sporadic spells of pressure in the first half, including 5 corners, but they've not really pressurised Jennifer Falk in the Liverpool goal enough. And they have a big 15 minutes currently underway as Scott Phelan tries to find a way to guide his team back into this Women's FA Cup tie. And the 5th round of the Adobe Women's FA Cup kicked off on Saturday as 4th tier Chatham Town hope to continue their record-breaking campaign against Birmingham City. Anita Asante and Oliver Wilson saw that game, but before we get the best of the highlights, earlier today, last season's finalists Chelsea and Manchester United met at Kingsmeadow in their bid to reach the quarter-finals. Ben Andrews saw this one.
Quick thinking from Sjerke Nusken. Here's Kannerud. He's got beyond Janssen here. Can't be offside from a throw. Here comes Cuthbert. Great effort. Oh, and it's matched by the save. Tullis Joyce. That is a top bit of keeping, and it needed to be. That's the closest we've had to a goal in this tie, and it was very close indeed. Poked forward by Walsh for James. There's no flag here. Lauren James. It's another big save from Fallon Tullis Joyce. Maybe just played on by Maya Le Tissier, her England colleague. United fans behind that goal fearing the worst. This is Park. Jess Park. Oh, what a hit! So unlucky. Won't even count as a shot on target, but it was brilliant. Plenty forward, Nusken nearly there. Rougeau got a little bit of it. Germa trying to keep the attack alive for Chelsea here. Carpenter. Berman helps it on, and Sam Kerr helps it in. Her again against Manchester United again. Off the bench, Sam Kerr. Finally, there's a goal in this tie. It needed one, it's got one. Le Tissier right into the crowd, and it's not been dealt with, it's in! Simeon Rougeau! United weren't behind for long, and their own substitute has levelled this tie. It's only a second ever United goal, forcing it past Hannah Hampton all square. Berman nodding it on, it's off the post and in! Extra time lead for Chelsea. Can they hang on this time? And it's Naomi Germa for the holders. It's her first Chelsea goal, and what a time to get it. Tullis Joyce got a piece of the Berman header. Off the post it came, and there was Germa. 2-1. Tullis Joyce is up, everyone's up. Now or never for Manchester United. Here's a Rougeau, back for Le Tissier. They're all up, she's gone for goal. Maybe that wasn't the best thing to do.
The spot in the quarter-final of the Adobe Women's FA Cup is on the line at St Andrews this evening. Hertrin on closing down. Frenchwoman goes around her quite comfortably as well. It's a decent ball in. Oh, off the underside of the crossbar, and it stays out. Sari can't believe it.
Just saved from the underside of the crossbar. Doesn't go over the line.
Hertrin, lovely step. Opening up the space for herself once again. It's not a bad ball in either. Oh, it's completely bamboozled Elegon.
Not sure she meant it, but she'll definitely take it.
That's a lovely ball across, and the lead is doubled for Birmingham. A routine finish tucked in by Sari.
Lovely weighted ball across the box. Just to slot it past Elegon.
I mean, Elegon's going to have a superb highlight reel, except for that as the defence falls apart, and the architects of their own downfall for Birmingham's third in the end. It's an absolute gift.
Mistake out from the back. They elect to play short. Jeffkins, and it's just an easy one in the end from Hertog, can pounce.
Quinn has continued the run, just needs to find a target inside the box. There's only one to aim at the moment, two more arriving. Pulled back to the substitute, great touch, super finish. That is the impact you're looking for. Luis able to strike it home.
Nifty footwork, fires it across the goal. Elegon has no chance to make a save.
It's that back line that's proving in difficulty right now. It's unbelievable. If in doubt, she does it again.
Oh, what a hat-trick for her today.
Birmingham have got tails up, and they're seeing this now as a perhaps chance to go for the jugular. Quinn sends it in. Took a deflection and pinged around for a moment. That's a poor decision, though, and Lee fires it home.
The wind are definitely up the sails for Chatham Town. Lee just fires that strike away.
Ball clear away from the goal kick. Leadhammer this time. Super finish. Leadhammer rubs salt into the wounds of Chatham Town.
She tucks it into that bottom corner past Elegon. And that's not what Chatham wanted to see at all.
Louis might have a chance trying to round the goalkeeper. Done and dusted. Two for the substitute for Cheba Louis. A second half sensation that saw 7 goals scored by Amy Merrick's Birmingham City. Birmingham City once again are in the final 8 of this illustrious competition.
So a big win for Birmingham City against Chatham Town. Early today, Brighton holding on to win 2-1 at West Ham United. Arsenal beating Bristol City by 3-0. And Chelsea overcoming Manchester United in a great game. Naomi Girma with the winner in extra time. Manchester City made short work of Sheffield United. Charlton are now the lowest ranked team left in the competition. They continued their remarkable unbeaten run. A late penalty winning the game at Oxford United. Liverpool lead Everton by 2-0. And then there is a local derby in the capital on Monday. London City Lionesses against Tottenham Hotspur. And we will have the second half coming up for you very shortly. And welcome back. Liverpool leading Everton by 2-0 at half-time. And Scott Phelan responding with a double change at half-time. Rosa Van Gool and Yuka Mamiki are the players going off. And Mel Lawley and Zara Kramzar are the players who have come on for Everton. Lawley, a former Liverpool player, who once scored the winner against them for Manchester City in the semi-finals back in 2017. And Zara Kramzar, 20-year-old Slovenian international on loan from Roma. Everton get the second half underway, trailing here by 2-0. Mia Enderby scoring the first for Liverpool, and she was injured in the act of scoring, and the player who came on to replace her, Beata Olsen, got the second just before half-time. And it's Liverpool in the red shirts, attacking the goal away to our right in the second half, and Everton making 2 changes at half-time, with Yuka Mamiki and Rosa Van Gool going off, and Mel Lawley and Zara Kramzar, the players who are coming on. And it was Kramzar wearing 21 who was involved there, and Lawley, very experienced player. She's got 14 on her back on the far side, just back from a loan spell with Burnley in the lower divisions to build up her fitness. She has had such a long career in the Women's Super League and beyond. Lawley came through Arsenal's academy. She played for Bristol Academy, Birmingham, Manchester City. Both of these clubs with 12 caps for England. Liverpool, I'm sure will believe one more goal, and that should be it. Bernabé, Holland, who created both of them. Now O'Sullivan. Shimazu, on loan from Manchester City. Another coming back from an ACL injury which ruled her out last season. It's a good stage for her to get back to full fitness. Jennifer Falker's been relatively untroubled so far. Beata Olsen replacing Mia Enderby. Kerry Holland on the other side has made the goals as Blundell tries to prevent a corner there, under pressure from Holland, but can't do so. Blundell's experience will be required with Everton under pressure here, and both Lawley and Kramzar coming on at half-time. Corner is deep towards Fisk, who wins the header. O'Sullivan, it took a deflection, and the header from Clark is tipped over the top by Brosnan. Well, Everton having so many problems when the set pieces head into the penalty area. Fisk winning the first header, and it was O'Sullivan's shot which was blocked, and Clark, who was looking just to guide the ball over the goalkeeper, who made a fine save. Well, frustration for Gareth Taylor, a goal at that stage, and that would surely be that. Corner kick, Holland again, driven deep this time. Fisk again challenging. Gabara with the clearance. And now Holland. It's another teasing ball in, and the header from Capox is claimed by Brosnan. Lawley cut out by Shimazu, but Kramzar fasten onto the loose ball here, but only briefly. Clark with the clearance, and Liverpool have now had time to get players back. Vignola. And after losing to Everton in the opening game of the Women's Super League so far for Liverpool, revenge is a dish best served cold in the FA Cup. Holland. Fernandez runs it out of play. And very little has gone right for Everton so far. Scott Phelan has made the changes. Still plenty of time left in the game. Shimazu. Clark back towards Falk. She's not really had a shot to save. She had to dash out on one occasion and parry the ball to safety, but Everton have just not had the ball in the Liverpool defensive third enough. Fisk. Lovely Cruyff turn. Holland. She spun away from the challenge, and then she was caught, and it's a free kick. It was the Australian international Claire Wheeler who was caught on the wrong side and just clipped the ankle. Fisk. Ramsar with the challenge, but Liverpool will have the throw-in. Referee just encouraging Bernabé to get the game restarted. Nagano, now Shimazu. Fisk again has had the confidence to carry the ball out, and that will be enhanced with a 2-goal lead. Fisk. Plenty of room here for Shimazu. Capox. Now Clark. Of course, Liverpool can manage the game at times with a 2-goal lead. Olsen. She kept the ball in play. Capox. Thomas, given the shove by Mace, and it will be a free kick. Martha Thomas is the sort of player who will always take the knocks and then come back for more, and Mace will receive the yellow card for that. Not been a happy day for her so far. Her error led to the first goal. Now she receives a yellow card. It's an unnecessary challenge, really, because Thomas was heading towards the corner flag, and Mace may have had the opportunity just to hold her up and wait for support. Holland again over the free kick. It's deep. Brosnan came and then retreated, and Clark, great save by Brosnan. Well, she kept her team in the FA Cup there. But Everton's inability to deal with these high balls almost exploited again. It fell to Clark, who jabbed it towards goal, and Brosnan showed her reflexes were sharp. Crossing again from Holland, seeking out Olsen, but claimed by Brosnan. Well, Gareth Taylor knows his team are right on top here, but they just need one more goal to be absolutely sure. Lawley. Now Wheeler. Kramzar in pursuit. Clark trying to get on the right side, which he does. Capox. And now Shimazu. And Everton, who fell in the 5th round last season, look like they are going to depart the FA Cup at this stage in the current campaign, because they're 2 goals down, and really they're fortunate they aren't further behind, but for the elasticity of their goalkeeper. And now the flag's up for offside. Maybe this is a dose of reality for a team who have won 3 in a row under their interim coach. And they've got tough games coming up, away to Tottenham and Manchester United before the derby at Goodison Park at the end of March. This will give Liverpool the ideal fillip before they meet the bottom club Leicester. And they will want to sort out the relegation picture as far as they are concerned for their final 2 games, which are both against Manchester City and Arsenal. Blondell. Wheeler under pressure but does well. Kagawa's ball forward though comes back. Fernandez. Mace. Wheeler. Looking for Lawley, but shut out by Bernabé. Clark. It's covered well by Hayashi, but one back well by O'Sullivan. Thomas. Capox. And now Olsen. And Bernabé. A good looking run forward, which was halted by the challenge of Lawley, and it will be a free kick. And it's all Liverpool at the moment. Everton have not got started since half-time. That's the 10th foul they've conceded. And it gives Liverpool another set piece. And all of them recently have carried danger. Very deep again, and the header from Thomas is wide. Every time that ball is pumped high into the Everton penalty area, it's a Liverpool head who seems to be on the end of it. Martha Thomas this time, although the attentions of Fernandez. And she couldn't keep the ball on target, but now it's one back and Holland will strike. And Brosnan will save. Wheeler. Now Mace. Wheeler again. Won back well by Lawley. Hayashi. Liverpool again, pressing so high. Everton are always under pressure when they have the ball in this sort of area. Shimazu. Back with Falk. Whistler's gone before Mace plays it all the way back, and it will be a Liverpool free kick. There is Mia Enderby on crutches following her injury, scoring the opening goal for Liverpool. Courtney Brosnan, the Everton player involved, although no blame attached to her. It was a ball that she had to go for. An unfortunate collision. You often see head injuries in that sort of case when a goalkeeper comes out to challenge a striker, but it was the connection with the knee which has caused the issue, and we wish Mia Enderby well. Vignola. Ramsar in field. Wheeler. Vignola. Falk is able to make the claim. Scott Phelan has made the changes, but not really changed the course of the game. Capox. Olsen. Shimazu. Clark. Liverpool happy to maintain possession and draw the free kicks like that one, as Capox is fouled by Wheeler. And Tony Payne will be coming on soon. The Nigerian international for Everton. Liverpool have had so much more effective play around the Everton penalty area. They've had 19 touches inside the Everton area, 12 attempts, 6 on target. Everton have had 7 touches inside the Liverpool box, 2 shots, 1 on target, and they were both in the first half. Holland. That's a good ball. Banabe looking for Thomas. Scooped up by Brosnan. She's made 4 saves in the game. And in the second half, they have kept Everton clinging on to an increasingly faint hope of a place in the quarter-finals, but they need goals very quickly here. Kramzar. Shimizu. That's a nice take by Gabaro, and the shot turned aside by Falk. That's a really good save. Well, a goal kick's been given, but Gabaro convinced Jennifer Falk turned that ball aside. She did well to bring that ball down. And I think it was just sneaking in. It brushed the gloves of Jennifer Falk, and she got a touch on that clearly to make the save. Mace. There will be more changes now for Everton. Tony Payne and Aurora Ghali are coming on. And Emma Gabado, that shot, her final involvement, she comes off. And Tony Payne will replace her. Born in Alabama, came through at Duke University, having played in the US youth system, opted to play for Nigeria at international level. She scored and assisted in the previous round at West Brom. And Aurora Ghali, the Italian international, signed from Juventus, where she won the Coppa Italia. She's quickly involved. As Everton look to find a way back into this game. They will need to start taking risks, and as a result of that, there will be more gaps which Liverpool could exploit at the other end. Fernandez, Mace. Ornella Vignola also withdrawn, so there'll be no hat-trick for her in this Merseyside derby. Fernandez, Mace. Lundell finding herself quickly under pressure. The midpoint of the second half, and Liverpool's 2 goals late in the first half still the difference. But here is Wheeler. Payne. Back towards Wheeler. And the final touch was off the Australian as Grace Fisk came across. Those Everton fans hoping that something goes their way pretty quickly here. Nagano. Here is Blundell. Ghali. Fernandez. Orley has switched over to the left, and Shimizu putting Falk under pressure, but they avoid the corner. Capox. On from Clark. Helped on by Thomas. Here is Olsen. Holland was making the run in behind. Liverpool have worked that very cleverly when they've brought the ball forward. It's a team which have never won the Women's FA Cup, but twice WSL champions. In a very different era for the sport. In 2013 and 2014, they were the team to end Arsenal's early preeminence. They did it by signing a number of Everton's best players. Payne. Kitagawa. Nicely done by Kramzar. Payne makes the run in behind. Clark though with the challenge. Lawley. Wheeler. Payne. It's blocked by Fisk. Cleared by Bernabe. Kitagawa. Plenty of traffic ahead of her. Blundell. Blocked by Thomas. Garley. Telling Mace to look wide. Garley. Clark's clearance was slightly heavy, but here is Payne. Kramzar. And the shot off the post and it goes in. It's an own goal and Everton are back in the game. Jennifer Falk, the unlucky player. Nothing she could do about that. But suddenly, we have a cup tie once again. Aurora Garley stepping off the bench to help give Everton hope. And Liverpool, for a change, not clearing their lines. It was Clark who gave the ball away to Payne. Kramzar laying it back to Garley. And although Falk seemed to initially make the save, there was a double cannon there. It came off the post twice, came off the back of her head twice, and it crept over the line. Well, she will be credited with the own goal, but it was a really good save. And then you do sometimes see the ball come back off the upright and then hit the goalkeeper, but not twice. And Kramzar now going for goal from the halfway line with Falk some way outside her area, but it's some way wide as well. But it could be a very different game now. Gareth Taylor has seen his side not take opportunities early in the second half to finish things off. It might be a bit tense now. But here is Thomas. She'll fasten onto the loose ball. Olsen to her right, but the pass was short. Well seen by Kitagawa. Lawley. And it's given away by Kitagawa. Olsen. Everton, I wouldn't say scoring with their second attempt on target, but the goal resulted from their second attempt on target. Shimazu will take this. Everton have a spring in their step at the moment, but here is Clark, whose error led to their goal. Now it's cleared long downfield. Fisk. Nagano. Fisk again. O'Sullivan. Rundell allows it to run. Gareth Taylor is headed down to the technical area now. 15 minutes to play. Nagano. That's a good run. Holland. Plenty of support in the area. She'll try and take on Blundell. Then back onto the left foot. The cross is cleared. And then Olsen! And it whistles over the top. Well, Holland was patient there. The cross deflecting into the path of Olsen. It was ambitious from the angle, but she made good contact. So Liverpool's lead trimmed to 2-1. Nagano, foul by Kramzar. And Liverpool will be making a change very soon. And so too will Everton. Kelly Gargo is preparing to come on, the French international. Liverpool looking to restore their 2-goal lead here. Holland high towards Clark. It's a good header away though by Kramzar. Mace. And full. Fisk is penalised and it will be a free kick. Didn't have hold of her shirt, but Mace also had hold of hers. It was a free kick to Everton. Kitagawa. Galley. Now Mace. Hayashi. Lawley. Payne waits at the far post. And it's blocked by Shimazu. It will be a corner kick to Everton as they look to force extra time here. Liverpool were looking fairly comfortable for much of the second half. Honoka Hayashi will be replaced by Kelly Gargo. 5 goals this season for her, including one in the FA Cup. The in-swinger from Mace. And it's beyond Gargo. Big boot from Thomas. Now Mace.
Orally!
O'Sullivan eventually fouls Blundell and it will be a free kick. The Everton fans in good voice now. Payne. And she's offside. Liverpool readying another change here. Not before Jennifer Falk takes the free kick. Thomas's flick on. Here is Holland. And she's offside. Gabriel Silak, the Swiss international, will be coming on. Bernabé is under pressure there, and Everton have the throw-in. Mace. Wheeler. Deals for offside against Payne, but no flag this time. But she can't pick out a blue shirt. And Martha Thomas is coming off to be replaced by Auriel Silak, signing from Freiburg in Germany. Thomas has produced a typically hard-working performance. Rather in the mould of her manager Gareth Taylor during his playing career. Nagano. Silak. Lawley. Wheeler's ball forward, finding Gali. She's got Payne on the outside. Gargo waits in the centre. Gali. It's cut out by O'Sullivan. Silak is back defending. O'Sullivan doesn't get the throw-in off Gali. Payne. Ramzar. Lawley. And then the shot fired in, takes a deflection. Kitagawa's effort. And Volk does well to hang on. Lawley beating Olsen. Kitagawa packing a punch there, but took a deflection initially and maybe just carried it away from goal, and Volk with safe hands. Shimizu. Well, the Liverpool goalkeeper belatedly called into action in this game. Shimizu. Nagano. Now Fisk. Clark. Shimizu. Now Nagano. Holland. That's good vision. Bonabe. Silak waits in the centre. Capox is there as well. Wheeler wins the first header, then Capox discards it through to Brosnan. Mace. Blundell. Now Kitagawa. Guided forward by Clark. Nagano. Capox. It's given straight to Kitagawa. Gargo. Payne, I think, knew she was offside, but I'm not sure she would have got there anyway. The clock ticks on for Everton. And those saves from Courtney Brosnan early in the second half showing their true value with Everton back in the game. Silak. Fernandez with the challenge, but Silak delivers the cross in, and Mace had to clear. Gareth Taylor has headed back to his perch just above the technical area. Shimizu with the throw-in. Olsen, it's a nice turn, and the cross. Silak, I think, was winding up for the acrobatics, but then pulled out of it just in time. Nagano. Fisk. Holland. Silak is in support. Holland, though, hits the byline. Mace will clear. There's one back by Bernabe. And the cross just guided away from Olsen, who was coming in with some force. Shimizu. Nagano. And now O'Sullivan. Liverpool keeping possession, but heading back to their goalkeeper. O'Sullivan. Now she will go long. Flicks off the head of Fernandez. Silak. Olsen. Silak is back on her feet. Holland in space to the left. Silak, though, may look to go alone. And in the end, she can't take the ball with her, but it breaks kindly. Olsen! Great save by Brosnan. Well, again, Courtney Brosnan keeps her team clinging on. Silak seemed to have lost the opportunity, but then the challenge on Kitagawa, and it spun invitingly into the path of Olsen. But again, Brosnan clawing the ball away. But this is where Everton have been vulnerable. It's another Liverpool set piece, and Kerry Holland is over it. And the Welsh international has caused some chaos here today with these. And there's another one. And it was Kramzaru headed the ball away, and players from both sides end up in the net. And Mace and Silak seem to have a disagreement there, and very quickly players from both sides get involved. While that was going on, Courtney Brosnan was on the ground, trussed up in the back of the net. The referee, in the end, is having words. And the yellow card is out. I think certainly for Silak. See what happened here. Well, it was headed away. It was Clark and the goalkeeper, Brosnan, who ended up in the net. And then Brosnan stayed on the ground. Silak was certainly shown a yellow card for her reaction. Garlic. And Courtney Brosnan was also booked as well for her role in that. Holland. She's caused Blundell some problems all day. But Everton are able to clear this time. Liverpool just look to keep the ball as we tick towards the 90th minute. Neither medical team has been on in the second half. But Everton have a free kick here. Kitagawa. Gargo, Lawley. She was trying to pick out the run of Kitagawa, but we weren't quite on the same wavelength there. Scott Phelan's team will very shortly be living off added time here. Jennifer Falk will take the goal kick as we tick into 3 added minutes. Sillag. Liverpool have the throw-in. They are closing in on a victory over their big rivals. It's been a lot tighter than maybe it should have been. Capox. O'Sullivan. Bernabe. Here is Holland, delivers the cross in towards Sillag, comes out to Olsen, that's a nice turn, and that's the goal that sends Liverpool into the quarter-finals. Although it has not been given, but Liverpool coming forward again. Certainly a good finish from Olsen, but the referee, Wunmi Sonai, disallowed. Of course, there was a moment of controversy about Olsen's goal in the first half, which did stand. The referee ruling that one out. As Olsen brought the ball under control here, it just brushed down her arm before she turned and thumped that ball in. And the whistle had gone before the goal had been scored. The officials had a very difficult job in picking up the handball for the goal that Olsen did score in the first half. Ball ricocheting off her. But Kerry Holland has had a major role to play. Her crosses have set up both of the Liverpool goals, and she's been a real threat down the left-hand side. Olsen. And Liverpool have the throw-in. And they may have done enough here. Shimazu will take the throw-in. Lawley. Everton have the throw-in now, but they are a long way from goal, and we're into the 4th minute of added time. But that's it. Mia Enderby ending the match on crutches, but she and Beata Olsen have scored the goals to send Liverpool into the quarter-finals of the Women's FA Cup with a victory over their big local rivals Everton. Jennifer Falk's late own goal, not costly in the end. And it's a match which Liverpool deserved to win on the balance of play. And but for the goalkeeping of Courtney Brosnan, there would have been many more goals. But Liverpool will take the victory and move on. Full time, Liverpool 2, Everton 1. And here are the full-time highlights. Liverpool taking the lead 11 minutes before the break. Ruby Mace with the mistake. Martha Thomas finding Kerry Holland. And she cut back onto her right foot. And her cross was bravely finished by Mia Enderby, who was unable to continue after colliding with Courtney Brosnan. But she just managed to get there with her head to guide the ball into the net before she was clattered into by the goalkeeper. And Liverpool led by a goal to nil 11 minutes before half-time. And they doubled their lead just before the break. Another Holland ball in from a free kick. Everton not clearing, and Beata Olsen, who came on to replace Enderby, scored the second from close range. And it was Fernandez who headed the ball into the body of Olsen. It did appear to strike her arm as it bounced down for her to jab in the second. Into the second half, Holland's deliveries continuing to cause problems. Fisk winning the header there. O'Sullivan's shot was blocked, and it was Clark's header, which was turned over the top by Brosnan. And at this stage, Liverpool were the dominant side, and Gareth Taylor knew they may have to take these opportunities. Holland with another free kick here. This time it was Clark who tried to score with her feet, and Brosnan again with another fine save to claw that ball out from close range. But Everton made changes, and Inma Gabado here cutting inside, and her low shot was turned beyond the far post by Jennifer Falk. Goal kick was given, but she just managed to get a fingertip to that. But Everton were back in the game 18 minutes before the end. It was Aurora Galley's shot, which was tipped onto the post by Falk, but then it bounced back off her, back off the post and into the net. A really unlucky own goal, but Everton happy to receive that good fortune as they were back in the match. They created very few opportunities to send this game into extra time. Galley was involved again here, and it was Krasmar who did well after coming on, along with Lawley, who set up Shimazu, but the shot was deflected, and Falk was able to make the save. Shimazu's effort, but it was Nagano who was in the way. And Liverpool nearly finished things off in the closing stages. Oriel Silak winning the ball initially there. Beata Olsen running Silak again, who seemed to have taken the wrong option, but it was squeezed back into the path of Olsen. But her shot was kept out well by Brosnan. And Liverpool, in the end, holding on to win 2-1. So Liverpool with 16 attempts on goal, 8 on target, and for that reason alone they deserve to win this game. Marginally more possession, but they certainly carried more threat inside the Everton penalty area. So a big win for Liverpool in their bid for survival, and they're also into the quarter-finals of the Women's FA Cup. Hope you enjoyed the game. From Nigel Adderley, it's goodbye.
to the end.
Yeah, definitely. I think first half, we more back on, not be happy with it. And I think second half, when we get the goal, we get back into the game.